Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is Esther and Janet's current podcast, and this is going to be episode 2. So, last episode, Esther kindly interviewed me about my journey to become a PA and how I got to where I am today as a PA student. And today, I'm going to be interviewing Esther. So, I'm Janet.
And this is Esther.
All right. So, Esther, are you ready to kind of tell your story about being a new college graduate?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have a lot of questions for you, so be prepared.
I bet.
Okay, so Esther is a post college graduate. She just graduated from Boston University, and I will let her tell you about her story. So, Esther, I'm going to start with why did you choose to go to Boston University and what was your favorite memory about your college experience?
Um, yeah, there were a lot of reason um of why I chose BU, but then a few of the biggest one would be the location, and I really love Boston, so that's the first. And the second would be I actually wanted to study international business in high school, and then BU was one of the colleges that offer international business because it's not like a traditional business major. It's not offered like everywhere. So BU was one of my top choice for college for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite part about my college experience would be um meeting a lot of people that I wasn't expecting to meet. I feel like that's just a part of college. You meet
Definitely.
people everywhere, like in your class, going to the gym, going to the library, going to club, like just organization. I feel like meeting them really shapes who I am today. It could be in a good way or it could be in the bad way, but that just definitely shaped who I am today.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow up on that. So, could you tell us about someone that you met that shaped you in an unexpected but good way?
Yeah, I had a professor from business school. She was um at first I didn't really like her because she seemed kind of strict for sure. Yeah, but then she really cared about her students, not just in class, but also outside of classrooms. She would talk to me about my personal life, how I was doing, and then she really believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So I'm not a person with very high level of confidence, but she definitely helped me with that throughout college, and then that's part of me that wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her telling me to believe in myself.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you still keep in touch with this professor?
Yeah, I do email her about how I just graduated and then what I'm doing right now with life, which is like not much because of COVID, but I do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure like you'll keep updating her in the future. That's very valuable. I'm glad you got to meet her and that she was so encouraging. Okay. So, that's awesome. So I know that BU was your dream school since, because we've been friends for so long and I remember it was you always were talking about BU and applying, and so what age did it become your dream school and why?
I think I first heard about BU when I was 15, and then um I started researching about BU and then like the location and the classes BU offers. I feel like it grew on me though. At first it wasn't like a big thing to like, oh, I really want to go to BU, but I feel like it keeps growing on me. Like I really like the location, I love the campus, I love the classes, the majors they offer, and I feel like it just been part of me that I tell everyone about. So I feel like just um sometimes you really want something for so long, you don't really remember how it started. It just became a part of you that um, that you are really proud of and that you really like, and then that just it just I'm just really glad that someone told me about BU when I was 15.
Yeah. So who told you about BU?
Yeah, it was my English tutor. I had a tutor when I first moved to Texas because I couldn't understand what people were saying in English. So my
Mhm.
mom got me a tutor, and then she got into BU. So that's how I first um, heard about BU.
Wow, that's cool. And okay, I know that you were a transfer student. I know that that might be a different experience than going straight to BU from your senior year of high school. So, can you just tell us about your experience as a transfer student and just any general advice for like anyone wanting to transfer or even
Mhm.
applying like as a first time applicant?
Yeah, I was just really upset from being on the wait list for BU when I applied the first time. So
Mhm.
I went to Texas A&M for my first 2 years of college, and then one day I was at the dining hall and I met a friend from church, and I was talking to him. Um, he was like, "Why do you really want to transfer out of A&M?" I was just like, "This was just a part of my plan. I never planned on staying here for 4 years." But then he was just like, "Maybe you came here with the thought of not liking A&M. Maybe you like it if you stop telling yourself that," and which is true. A&M was a great school, but then I
Mhm.
went there with a whole mindset about, okay, I'm not gonna like it here. I'm not gonna stay here for 4 years. It was just a part of me that um that was very stomper in a negative way. Yeah, and it was great. I'm glad that I transferred, but I'm really glad I went to A&M as well. Um, I transferred out of A&M just because, it's my dream school to go to BU. But I feel like even if you don't get into the school you wanted in the first place, it's not the end of your
Mhm.
life. You're still gonna be very happy once you get into the new school. You're gonna meet a lot of people. Just don't be depressed for too long because you're gonna miss out a lot of things in life.
Yeah, definitely. So, could you tell us more about just the process of even starting to apply as a transfer student? Because I know that you probably have to start early. And
Mhm.
like, so how, like, what kind of advice would you give to someone
I started way too early. I started
like
even
myself?
before I started even before the application opened. I just started writing my essays because I knew I was going to transfer out. But then
Hmm.
I feel like it's really similar to college application though, just essays, recommendation letter, basic information about yourself. But one thing about BU is that you don't need your SAT score as a transfer.
Okay, so that's like one of the major differences.
Mhm.
Okay, I see. So that's great. And I know that obviously you studied something at BU. Can you tell everyone what you studied and how you became passionate about studying that?
Yeah, I graduated with a degree in econ and a minor in business.
Wow. So how did you choose that? I mean, I know that's kind of a
Um,
common is that a common combination to study in college?
I feel like I don't know if it's common or not, but then I decided to do it because I actually transferred into BU for international business major. But then I did the first year of like the intro business classes, like intro accounting, intro like business and all that finance. I realized that business really wasn't for me. I like it, but I don't think I can do it for the rest of my life. So I decided to transfer into the liberal arts and then continue studying econ.
Okay, I see. Did you have any experiences like when you were younger that influenced you to want to study econ or business, or was it something you just were interested in throughout high school or something?
hmm I feel like I grew up as a kid um who's more creative in some ways that
Mhm.
I have never. So out being just one thing, I was like, okay, I want to be this for a day, and then I want to be this. Like I would be like, okay, I want to be a president. Okay. Or the next day I'll be like, okay, no, I want to be an actress. And then the next day I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna be a singer. It's just like I grew up more like that. So it was not until my senior year of high school, which is really late compared to other people who already set their goals for life. I took
For
AP
life.
Econ in high school, and I thought the class was fun, and then I could tell the difference myself how I was learning the materials a lot faster compared to other subjects. So that's why I chose econ. But then um, it was also because some of the school that I applied to didn't have international business majors, so econ was my second choice.
Oh, okay, I see, I see. That's pretty cool. So, kind of going off of that, do you have recommendations for people who want to be like you? They are interested in econ or business and they kind of want to get into the field, whether maybe looking for jobs or even just studying in college. Like, do you just have any general advice for them?
Um, General advice would be
Like
um,
anything unique, that economics majors or business minors face that you want to advise people for?
I don't think there's like a advice that I would give to people. I feel like
Mhm.
college is the process that you figure out yourself. Like,
Mhm.
um, my advice would be someone for introverts, but you might be an extrovert, and my advice would be someone who's um. It just like I don't think I could give a good advice to general people because I feel like everyone's so different. But then, um, yeah, my advice would be just don't be afraid to try new things and just try different classes because you might thought you like econ or you like business when you enter college, but then once you try something else, it could like you could find your interest because some majors or some classes weren't offered in high school, so you didn't have a choice to realize that you actually like it. So just be open-minded when you just first when you first get into college.
Yeah, no, that's definitely really good advice, and it's great that you kind of realize that everyone is different, and so you can't just give one advice for every single
Yeah,
person.
I hate when people give me advice, so I don't do that to people.
That's smart. We should all be like you, honestly, Esther. Okay. So while you were a student at BU, were you involved in things outside of campus, and what kind of things were you involved with, and what did you
Mhm.
enjoy about those involvements?
It was still on campus though, but I signed up for like yoga class or dance class because
Mhm.
like I don't know why my junior and sophomore year of college I was really into exercising. I would go to the gyms like 3 times a week, which is like
Wow.
I don't know why. I was really skinny during those 2 years when I started getting fat when I stopped going to the gym. So yeah, I feel like college is a place just don't be afraid to make mistakes or just don't be afraid to try out new things by yourself because I know some people might be afraid of going to a new club by themselves or like trying
Mhm.
out new things. But I feel like um just try it once. If you don't like it, don't do it. But then you have to give yourself a chance to see if you like it or not.
That's true. So you advise people to put themselves out there, step outside of their
Definitely,
comfort
yeah.
zones.
I suck at dancing. I still do, but I signed up for dance class just because I really wanted to.
Did you end up learning any particular style of dance
Oh, it
there?
was so much fun. It was so much. I love Fridays because I would get to go to my dance class, but then I still suck at dancing, but I loved it.
No, that's awesome. So, just in general, I was curious, and I think hopefully our viewers are curious. But what like was your favorite part of BU? And on the other hand, were there things that you didn't like about BU?
hmm My favorite part about BU was that the classes were a lot smaller than A&M. I mean, of course, you pay more for BU, but as an introvert, I really enjoy smaller classes because I would raise my hands a lot more than I did at
Mhm.
A&M, and I would actually have personal relationship with my professor, and they would know my name, they would know where I'm from, and how I'm doing with life. Um,
Mhm.
my least favorite part about BU would be definitely the tuition.
I understand.
Yeah, definitely. Other than the tuition, I have nothing to complain about BU.
Wow, so you really didn't have anything that bothered you about BU. It was literally your dream school.
No, when I first got into BU, I was really struggling because everyone's like so smart and
Mhm.
a lot of people came from really um better just family backgrounds. So
Mhm.
I had a few months that I learned how to fit in and don't lose my confidence just because I'm not from a special background. I came from a normal family. That's
Mhm.
okay. I just like everyone's in college to learn, and then yeah, just don't lose your confidence just when you're different.
Can you kind of expand on what you mean by special background?
Yeah, just for example, I would meet people from Taiwan as well, but they would be living in like more the better neighborhood or like the better parts of Taipei, but that would be from like a
Oh.
just um the not so special part of Taipei. Yeah, just like their houses will be really expensive, but I came
Uh-huh.
from like a place that was just a normal place. Like I
Yeah.
didn't go to a private school, I didn't go to American school, I went to a public school. Or or some of my friends they have like their own family business, but
Oh,
my
wow.
family just normal family. We don't have our own business. Which
I
is
didn't
like
think it
but
was
they were
normal to have a family business.
yeah, no, my friend had her family had their own family business and their own nonprofit organization. Just yeah,
Wow.
but then they were all really nice people, but I was just afraid of talking to them first just because I had a different background that maybe they couldn't relate to of like they always ask me if I went to a Taipei American school, but I was like, no, I went to a regular public school.
So can you
So I
talk
would just
about knowing that you were different or you felt at least you felt different from some of the people there? How did you go about forming relationships with other people during your time at BU?
yeah, no, I feel like when I was at Ann, everyone was either from Dallas or Austin. Like we all are from similar places and then similar
Mhm.
backgrounds. But then at BU, just like a lot of um BU is like has a lot of international students, a lot of people from different backgrounds, but then I would try to fit in. Honestly, I would try to fit in at first, but then I kind of just gave up at the end. I would just be who I am, and then if they like me or they don't, which is fine, it doesn't really matter. Um,
Yes.
someone's gonna like not be friends with you just because you don't own family business or you didn't go to private school or you
Or
don't
you're different from them.
yeah, it's just like maybe that just wasn't meant to be.
Of course, I would definitely agree with that. So, thank you for sharing. And I wanted to ask you this is a very general question, but so you are a recent college graduate, Esther. That is
Mm-hmm.
a big life event. There's so many opportunities for a new college grad. Kind of tell us where you are now and what your goals are for the future, either now or maybe 5 years down the road.
I am really interested in tech, so I really want to work in a big tech company. So that's what I'm really working on right now, getting
Mm-hmm.
my resume um standing out from others or getting certificates or just practicing in like interviews and stuff. That's what I'm working on recently.
Okay, and what do you think you want to do like 5 years from now, or even just a few years down the road?
5 years from now, I think I'll be going to grad school.
That's awesome. Do you have any idea of what you'd want to continue studying in grad school?
I think I think I would be more towards business because um maybe I'll change my mind in the future. Maybe I will like business in 5 years later. Maybe I won't because I didn't really get to finish the degree in college. I only got a minor. So I want
Mhm.
to give myself another chance to see if I like it. But if not,
Okay.
I think I would continue studying econ because I just really like econ as well.
Okay, okay, got it. So this, I know this next question is kind of random, but I just wanted to see maybe there are people listening who haven't been to Boston or they want to know more about Boston. So
Mm-hmm.
can you kind of tell us the best places you visited in Boston and your favorite memory at different places in Boston?
Um, I love going to the museum by myself because it really calms me down from the stress of college.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and as a BU student, I would get in there for free. So I would just go to the museum and then just spend like a whole afternoon there. I I'm not really into arts or really into any exhibition, but it's just fun to walk in there and be in there. It's really quiet. I feel like it was just a way of for me to release my stress from schoolwork.
that's awesome. Were there any good food places you might recommend for people wanting to visit there?
Food places would be. Oh, there's a Korean restaurant. It was like one of the best Korean restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
Wow,
Um,
Korean food
I
is
know
delicious.
it was good. Yeah, me and my family we love Korean food. But then that one was just like so good that it was just so good. But I forgot the name of it. I don't remember the name of it, but it was kind of far from being
Okay.
campus though, but it was really good.
Okay, but I now everyone knows that there's good Korean food in
Yeah, but you
Boston.
just have to find out which one though. There's a ton of Korean
Yeah,
restaurant there.
they can look.
It will, yeah. Good luck with that.
um wow. It's just so unique to be in like such a big city. I'm just interested in knowing like just more
hmm
about your experience going to school in like a big city because I went to school in a very smaller college town. So, can you just tell me like what you enjoyed about being a student in such a large place and such a cultural rich
hmm
place like Boston and just something interesting, I guess, like about your
Um,
time in the city.
yeah, it's definitely very different from going to A&M because A&M was as well really it was in College Station. It's a really everyone was like from either Dallas or Austin, like I said. So you see always see people from high school as well. But then I'm like the type of
Mhm.
person I love starting new. I love meeting new people, and then I just not like looking back. So going
Yes.
to Boston um was like what I looked for since I was 15. Okay, I didn't want to see people from high school. Um, it's not like I don't like them. I just like I wanted to move on from just high school. Um,
Mhm.
Boston was definitely um it's definitely it's a lot of surprises, maybe because I've never been there
Hmm.
before I actually moved there for college. So it was fun every single day. It's a city that you get to explore. It doesn't matter what you like because there's always something for you. So um
Mhm. It sounds like a fun
I
experience to be able to be young and in the middle of all of the fun stuff going on.
yeah, I feel like it's a good place to figure out what you like and what you don't like. And then you get to meet a lot of people all the time and then um it's just it's just a fun place to be when you're young and yeah, it's just I don't know, nothing to complain about Boston. Oh, yeah, one thing to complain about Boston is that
Mhm.
people might be a little different compared to Texas. Yeah, city people are very different from just Texas people in general, but
Coming
you'll get used
from
to it.
Yeah, coming from growing both of us growing up in Texas and then both of us going to respectively like Boston and I went to New York. It's such a big culture shift, you know?
Definitely, like how people talk or just how
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
They're almost they're almost not as nice. I feel like in Texas everyone says hi and they're very friendly, and I was talking to my friend today and she said that in New York people tell you to like move a certain way or get off, like if you're in their
Definitely,
way
yeah,
they
I
get
would say the
upset.
same in Boston, yeah, but then
Is
it's
it
just
the
like
same thing?
that yeah, I would say so, but then it just um but then those people are not they're just strangers. You don't really have to care about them,
Good
what they
advice.
say or what they do, just like
Don't
focus
let it
on
get
your
to you.
lesson. Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's so true. So Esther, we talked a lot about your experience at BU and then we transitioned into Boston and we kind of got to know you. So what is like just one random or fun fact that most people don't know about you that you would just want to share with me and also with our
Uh,
listeners?
yeah, I find one fun fact thing about me is I love acting.
Mhm.
I if it wasn't for being what's the word I'm looking for? If it wasn't for the money, I would have chosen theater as my major. But then like being an actress is very unstable in terms of salary. So I have to choose something more practical to be able to buy food and have a roof over my top.
Yeah, that's very interesting actually. We've been friends for a long time and I don't think I knew you had like like a very big interest in theater or acting. And it's
Mhm.
interesting you talk about that because it in a way it is unstable, but for people who make it in the business, they're making like millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Which is kind of crazy, but for people who do theater or get work here and there and you don't get aka like recognized, I feel like it would be more
yeah,
unstable.
it would be tough,
Do you
definitely. It would
feel
be
like
tough.
there's an element of luck maybe in that?
I really don't know because um I look for something more stable in life
Mhm.
in terms of career, but not for college though, because I feel like when I'm young, I'm like I want to try new things and I don't have to worry about um a lot of things other than my grades and my schoolwork. But then it's
Mhm.
not for the long term to live that way. That lifestyle isn't like good for long term. I feel like um
Yeah. At least
I
not for everyone, I would say.
yeah, not for me though, since I feel I would want something more stable and then not as an actress, I don't get that for sure.
Yeah, I guess that's one of maybe the closing question is going off your interest that we didn't know about, your interest in theater and acting. Why is that a big interest of yours, and do you see yourself, even if you're not becoming an actress, are you going to get try to get involved with different clubs or groups, that deal with acting or theater, etc.,
Um,
in the future, I
yeah,
guess?
I like acting. I feel like it just you get to be someone else. It's not like I don't like myself. I just feel like it's just it's just fun to be someone else as well. Life is short. I don't want to just live my life. I want to live someone else's as well. If that makes sense though. It's just always
It
fun
does.
to be a different person with a different personality, different life, different background. Um, I just thought that's always cool thing to do.
Definitely. So do you want to get more involved in the future if you get the chance to, even if it's not a career, something to do
No, yeah,
just
I
for
feel like after
fun?
I get a stable job, and then I would have extra money, I would definitely sign up for acting classes. Even it's just not for career, just for myself, my own interest, I would definitely do
Well, I admire you for acting on those interests.
that.
Uh, but yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story. And whenever you do get that job, we will probably be talking about it on this podcast. So thank you. Is there anything else you want to tell people or tell the listeners before we end this interview?
No, I feel like those were really good questions. I feel like I pulled my whole life out during this episode.
Slowly, we'll just talk about all your life experiences. This is just episode 2.
Wow, I thought it's been episode 20.
All right, guys. So that's all the time we have for episode 2. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.